Screen to stop.
Okay. Want to stop? Start?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny here, and welcome to the November assignment critique for Silhouette. Super pumped to be here. I'm here with B. How are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. And sorry we couldn't do this live. We tried for 19 minutes to get it going. Had major problems. Internet and Google Hangouts wasn't cooperating. So anyway, here we go. How's your month been, Johnny? Since actually last time we did this, I was not feeling so good.
Yeah,
We were in Fiji, but I'm feeling a lot better now. How are you feeling, buddy?
yeah. No, I'm good. A little bit tired. I got the coffee here, so it's we're all good, man. Let's get this done for you peeps.
Okay.
All right.
Good. All right, let's jump in. First one is from Denise, and man, I love this image, Johnny. It's one of those, like kind of spooky night shots, and it's a great silhouette of that tree there. And I like the way Denise has cropped this, with the moon off to the side and not right in the middle. The only suggestion I had for her was the roof over here, the roof line, and I think she actually went ahead and did something to that. Yes, looks like it. So there's the upgraded version of this image. Just a lovely, monochrome. It is monochrome, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it could well be. I mean, I am seeing a little bit of yellow there on the moon and bluey tone there. So, yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. It could be a split tone. But one thing I do love about this image, I love the tree that you've chosen to shoot through there, and how the bottom of the trunk comes up on the lower left third there, and then these branches shoot out towards the light. I really love that. It's a great composition and really abstract looking image. I love it.
Yeah, well done, Denise. That's great. And I see we had quite a few comments on the first one. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That's great. So let's jump on to the next one there, Johnny, from David. How you doing, David? Loved your images from Vietnam, man. I'm going with you next time on that motorbike trip, visiting the orphanages and all that good stuff. And this is a great image. I think it's from Lake Macquarie, if I remember right, from David. And just love the way it's such a calm image, it just brings like serenity and just this real calmness to me when I have a look at it. Those birds flying, seagulls flying, and I like the way, David, you've left some space on the right there for the birds to fly into, and I love the clouds. They're just like real stormy, dark clouds. It's just awesome. The only suggestion I had here was, man, wouldn't this look great if it was cropped, where that horizon is right in the middle, so basically because it's such a good reflection on the lake, the symmetry would be amazing, I think, and that's why I asked in there whether you could actually crop it that way. What, you got any suggestions, Johnny?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said, mate. Hey, one thing I've just picked up on the last few days is there's a technique in Photoshop where you can actually remove this horizon line here. So you don't have this. So basically, it looks like a reflection and the sky, and you don't have this here, and it really cleans up the image.
Oh, really?
It's a weird, it sounds really weird, but when you see it, you'll be like, oh my God, why haven't I done that before? Of course it is manipulating the image, and again, we're the artists, we get to choose what we want to do. So it's just a matter of making a selection and dropping the sky layer down on top of the reflection there, and it just cleans up the image, and you end up with this two sort of reflected surfaces, and this image, it just screams like that would be an awesome technique to play around with this. So I love it. Great capture. Love the reflections. And one thing I would say, often with images, it's really nice just to pick one color and make that color a bit more intense. You know what I mean? Like often, one thing I like to do a lot, if you got that green little spots of weed on a rock that's in your foreground, I'll just make that green pop a little bit more. So one thing I'd say about this image, I mean, I love the blue tones, I love the warm tones. I would probably intensify those warm tones just a little bit more. Just give that orange a little bit more pop, and it's just going to make that contrast between those cool tones and the warm tones a lot stronger. That's what I would say. So absolutely love it, mate. Or maybe I'll do a tutorial about what I was speaking about removing the horizon line with awesome reflections like this in the future. But great capture, love it.
Yeah, and Johnny, maybe that you can call that tutorial the infinity pool.
Yeah, well, that's
the way to do the infinity pool with this image, where it just goes off into infinity.
And that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like the horizon and the water just goes off for as far as you can see. It's a really, really great effect. I love it.
Awesome. All right. Mark, hey, how's it going there, Mark, in Paris? And Mark, thank you so much for all the comments you put into the forum after the tragedy in Paris. It's really good to have some positive feedback from someone actually living there. So thanks for that. Now this is one that Mark, if I remember right, this is a silhouette of Mark, a profile picture of himself. So he photographed himself somehow. Let's have a look there. Selfie, yes. And used the stair railing to steady the camera. So really good. A couple of things in this image that I really enjoy is Mark's looking into the image again. So he's left some space for himself to look into. And I like the way it's the building is not straight up and down. It's not, it's like when I photographed, I did a lot of real estate photography, and you always try and get the buildings, the edges of the building, what's it? Vertical. Everything vertical. And the way you've tilted it, I kind of like that because it kind of tilts me. I want to move into the way it's tilting. So I'm actually drawn, my eye is drawn down into this area where Mark's actually looking with his silhouette. And I like that the texture too on the edge of that building. It's just a great shot. Also a little bit of blue there. So this image looks very like monotone, except for the blue. So you really get drawn into that area because to me it's the only real colorful area in this whole image. And just love it. Well done, Mark.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the lines in this, and I love the fact that it's not straight. And I know you mentioned the blue area, and I totally agree. But the other thing you could do too, I reckon this image for me, I would have definitely tried a black and white, a cool tone, black and white for this image. It just screams that's what it screams to me. I mean, everyone's different. I know we always talk about you're the artist and you get to choose. One thing I would have done if I had made this monotone, I would have brought this area here down a little bit and left this as light as it is. So then basically you see the silhouette and then your eye comes down the line and looks out into this lighter area over here. And it sort of already does that, but my eye does fight a little bit between these two. But Brent is exactly right. Because that's blue, your eye does end up there anyway. But so if you did go monochrome, I probably would bring this area down just a touch. Not much, maybe just a third of a stop or something, just a very little amount. And then, yeah, definitely. Love it. Love it. Very creative and good job without a tripod.
Yeah, thanks for that, Johnny. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, me. Is this me?
It's you.
But that's not me.
That's not, well, no. You're looking fit there, bro.
This is Queen V. And I photographed this in Fiji while Verena was photographing the sunset. And I only had one lens on me. I think I had my 70 to 200 mil lens, I believe. Let me see if I'm telling lies or not.
I think it was.
Let's see. Okay.
70 mil, yeah.
70 mil, yep. So that's the widest I could go on that image. And I wanted to capture Verena in her natural environment. She is the queen. She's, she's on her throne and she's talking to her subjects right now. She's commanding them, which was us because we were filming her. And, in hindsight, I should have, if I critique this image myself, I should have left more on the more foreground here, so more of the dark area, because I'm kind of feel like I'm cutting off her ankles and I'm not giving her much space to stand on.
So you would have got a bit lower, maybe, you think, or?
Yeah, or just maybe shot vertically instead of horizontally.
I'm definitely seeing a vertical shot. Yeah. Particularly you were limited to 70 mil. Yeah. And you want to, if you go lower, you're going to lose more of that sky. And that sky, where you've got that cloud layer at the top there, I mean, that's perfect. That just frames the image nicely. I wouldn't have liked to have lost that,
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we'll do something different here, Johnny, seeing as we're not live. Okay. Hold on a sec. I'm going to show you guys something.
Okay, here we go.
Cool. So check this out. I did shoot a couple of verticals, hey, Johnny?
You're onto it, mate.
So I pulled out the Lightroom catalog and I've just gone to the place. So I did shoot a couple of verticals and then I shot a couple of horizontals. So I'll let that pull that up.
This is a great tip, man. Yeah. You always make sure you shoot in landscape and portrait.
Yeah. So there's the one that I eventually got. So there's my Lightroom catalog, guys. And as you can see, just a little tip, when you are out there, obviously I always shoot verticals and horizontals. And you can see I do shoot quite a few images when I'm out in one place. So cool. Let's jump back to that.
Nice, man. Next image.
Next one is David Cobbin, and this was another one from Vietnam, I believe. You want to jump in? You
Yeah,
jump in.
man.
My
Yeah,
phone-
yeah.
My phone's ringing.
Nice one, Dave. So this was shot, Central Highlands. Yeah, so it was Villager on the Lake. It looks like it was shot either early in the morning or late afternoon. There's obviously some fog there in the background. And one thing I do love about this capture, obviously the beautiful, beautiful reflection there looks amazing. But you look in the background and there's a faint line of hills in mist or something in the background or in cloud. And I really love that feel about the image. One thing I would say, and this again, this is always up to the artist. But for me, this area, these little things around here, I take a lot of those sort of things out. I think this clump down here maybe could stay because it acts like a bit of foreground. Yeah. But just a few of these ones that are out by themselves, particularly these ones along the edge and things like that, I probably would have taken those out. So you can easily do that in Photoshop, not a problem at all. It takes 2 seconds. One thing I do love about this image, I like the toning. I like the cool toning. And I can't tell. It's hard to tell, I know, online, but and I don't know how to drive your Windows machine, man. There we go. I just wonder if that's going to make it. It does look a little bit grainy, and I just wonder, let's see what ISO you shot this at, Dave. If we go down here. Info. Let's have a look.
4,000.
Yeah, so it's been shot at high ISO. So I think it needs a little bit more noise reduction for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's such a calm, peaceful scene that often people will add a bit of grain to their black and white if you like that sort of a look. Mm-hmm. But to me, it screams, calm, flat. I would like to see more noise reduction in these areas. And obviously you can take care of that really easy in Lightroom or Photoshop. So a couple of little tips for that one. I do like the toning. I actually don't mind the stronger vignette. Yeah. I think it's okay. I don't mind it. I probably would have feathered it a little bit harder. That's what I would say, And one thing you can do with these images too, if you don't want the vignette to be so strong, even just dropping a graduated filter top and bottom just to close the image in rather than getting those really dark corners, you get more of a flatter, dark line across, obviously with the graduated filter or something. So, a couple little tips there I think would be worth definitely trying out, but definitely try a bit more noise reduction, probably clean up a few of these loose reeds around because I think, just with that reflection, it just tends to take away a little bit for me. But that's my opinion, of course, and maybe try that graduated filter top and bottom to try and close down the image. So beautiful. Yeah,
and one more thing for me is, and I actually mentioned that in the comments here, David, is I would possibly crop off this little bit on the right here, maybe just right over here, so that it looks like he's not, he's got some space that he's come from, and he's more to the right of the whole frame. And he's got a little bit more space to come into. But that's just my personal preference. I don't know if you could have got down lower to photograph him, but then he would have been maybe a little closer to those reeds over there. When I'm photographing people on the water, I often try and get down to water level because then they really pop out on the horizon. But it may not have been, that probably wouldn't have worked for this image.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I mean, that's actually a good point, getting lower. But the problem is once you got to this area, you start to get mashed up into the background there, you know. So, I mean, if you had got down low when he was in this area here and popped it, I mean, obviously at that time, you're just thinking, oh, this is amazing, and you're just trying to get the shot. But it's good to think about all these little things, and eventually what happens when you see a scene, all those little things, you know, that like getting a bit lower, and it just comes to you as second nature. So, yeah, amazing image. I absolutely love it, and I love the cool toning, and I just think a few extra little things, and turn a great image into an amazing image.
Great. All right, so Karen Poole from South Africa, I believe. Was this the one that she had cropped? I may have cropped it. Yeah, let's see. Oh, there's the original. Okay, great stuff. So this is the original image. I don't know if it's from the Kruger Park, Rhodes Park, South Africa. So, great image. Karen, love it. Love those last light, rays coming through there, silhouette. This is kind of a silhouette and not a silhouette, right, Johnny? Because you can still see a lot of, detail on the, I believe those are stalks or.
it's still. I mean, there is a little bit of detail there. I would still call this a silhouette. I mean, it's still backlit.
Yeah.
You know, and there's still like these ones at the top. There's no detail, so it's definitely a silhouette. Go back to the crop
Ibis,
version. Let's
yeah.
have a look at the crop version.
Yeah,
Ibis,
the
I
ibis. Yeah, the ibis. So
You know birds.
oh yeah, I used to when I lived in South Africa. So the crop version, I actually suggested to Karen that she crop the left off it a little bit, just so that the birds have got more space to fly in and they're not right in the middle.
Yep.
So here's the one where they're kind of more in the middle, and my eyes kind of running around. I don't quite know what to settle on. Is it that bird there? Is it that clump of birds over there? So for me, this is a little bit better because now my eye is kind of coming down to this bird about to land, this ibis about to land on the roosting, or maybe it's taken off in the morning, and then it kind of goes to where the sun's setting or rising in the background.
You know, one thing I love about this image is that sky is just beautifully processed. I absolutely love it. It's naturally looking. It's gorgeous. It's you've done a great job there. I think, you know, something that might make this a bit stronger too is even a vertical crop. You know, a portrait crop. So I haven't cropped this, so I'm just doing on the fly. But something, you know, like this might even be nice because all these layers build up, and your eye starts on the dark bit and it comes to this light bit, and you have all these layers of beautiful clouds. So even that might be something worth trying. But I absolutely love the image, great capture, and I think, you know, cropping and simplifying is always a great thing. So
Yeah, awesome, well done, Karen. Okay, Matthew Ship over here. So, this is an interesting one. Maybe I'll let Johnny jump in first, eh?
Yeah, nice one, Matty. I love these reflected abstracts, and I also really like the crop here. I actually like how you've got the big tree pointing down to the foreground. It acts like a bit of a foreground element in my eye. It starts here and then it moves up to this lighter area and pulls me through the image. I love the tones as well. Really, really nice. Again, I wonder if this image, you know, could have done with maybe because the orange tones are up here, and this always tricks the eye because you've sort of done the opposite. The blue tones are down here this time, and the orange tones are up here, and it's really nice because normally when you see a sky, obviously the orange is lower on the horizon and the blue's a lot higher. Yeah. So one thing I probably would have done just to intensify the colours is I probably would have put a little grad on here and just added a slight bit more blue tone into this lower area, and it just makes that transition but through the tones a little bit more stronger because it is quite an intense yellow over there, and it may have even be a little bit blown out there, but that's okay. It actually does work for me. I don't mind that little light area there because it pulls me straight to it. I mean, there's still I can't drive this Windows machine, bro. Seriously. There we go. So yeah, great. I like the crop, and I like where you've gone for this reflections, and I love the fact that the ripples are just up here in this area because it adds a texture to that reflection that wouldn't have normally been there. So this area stays nice and soft, and you can see there's little waves and ripples up here that just adds something extra to your reflection there. So very nice. Love it. I love the fact you've got the tree down here on the third, and it just pulls me straight up into that light area. But maybe, try and intensify those colors through here because there's it's almost a magenta-y tone through this area, isn't it? So blue to magenta-y to yellow would work quite nice, mate. Lovely. I like it.
I wonder what would happen if you actually flipped this around and you had it the other way around, the opposite way.
You actually could. Yeah, you could. It would totally work the other way as well. So, I mean, that's the thing. That's what I love so much about these abstract images. It's all up to the artist, man, and it's up to what you see. So, amazing. Love it. Hey, a little tip for these things too. You can always just splash a little bit of water in these puddles or throw a rock out there or something and just wait for it to calm a second just to create those ripples if they're not there. Because it's always good to just have a play around with water like this. And you'd be surprised what sort of reflection you can get in any little, even a tiny little body of water. If you get a wide angle lens and get really, really low, even to the smallest puddle, you can get some amazing reflections. So cool, really cool, man.
Awesome, good. Let's jump over here. Okay, Tim from England, I believe. I actually suggested Tim put this one into the silhouette album because Tim actually posted this in the lounge for some feedback, and I just love it. I might open it up in a new window just so we can see what it's like. These are the kind of images, these black and white monochrome where you've just got, highlights and shadows. That's all you're really dealing with. There's no color, and it's just shape and form. And for me, what I love about this is my eye goes straight to her eyelashes over there. Because that's the silhouette that I'm actually looking at. The silhouette within a silhouette is her eyelashes, and backlit with her beautiful blonde hair. And just love it. Tim, it's also the way you've moved it off to the side. You've moved this whole image off to the side, so you've got a lot of negative space here, black negative space, which just draws my eye straight back into this little area over here. And even though it's not quite the rule of thirds for her eye, it works for me because all the shape and all the, the leading lines with her hair and her nose and her lips kind of lead me back to this area where her eye is. So love it. Anything else you want to say on that, Johnny?
And this looks like a lot like the lighting you've done in a lot of your fine art stuff, mate. No wonder you love it so much. It's very similar, very similar. So, yeah, really cool, really cool.
Well done, Tim, and thanks for joining our community, man. I know he's pretty new there. All right, so Jenny's been with us for quite a while, and wow, look at this one. I wonder where this is, Johnny. San Diego Zoo. Oh, okay.
I would never have guessed.
Balboa Park.
I was thinking like something in the Middle East.
I know, me too. Yeah. Do you want to start on this one?
Yeah, I can. Very simple silhouette image. Lovely, lovely capture. The thing that makes this image for me is the fact that this little bird's here. Often when you shoot these type of things and you've got something really, really small in the frame, it doesn't work. But because this is silhouette and such an interesting looking tower here, having that bird off to the right looks awesome. I really love it. His little fella could have been even over here a bit further, so you can do things like content aware move in Photoshop if you wanted to move it around quite easily. But I think it's really cool. It would have even worked, and I even like the fact where the crop is because it's sort of these lines. They sort of pull you up into the image. It works your way up into the tower, and then you finally see the bird. So, really cool, really simple, really artistic. I even like the fact you can see through the tower, and they've got the blue little windows.
Just about to say that is.
Oh well, yeah, because it really breaks up that black area, and even here where you see it through the trees. So, I don't know if there's too much more to add to this one, mate.
I like the toning, the way it goes from the darker blues at the top down to the lighter blues on the horizon. That works for me too.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. This image would not have worked if this tower wasn't so interesting and detailed. Yeah. These little bumps and the little holes through, and all these little pieces to it. I think that just really creates a lovely silhouette. Yeah, great.
Well done. Thanks, Jenny. All right, we've already looked at that one. Let's look at this one. This is Karen again from South Africa, and I'll just pull this up in a new window. Man, look at the tones in this one, Johnny. It goes from, look at the nice cool tones down there to the warm tones, which is what you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And just love it. And I think this is, obviously I love South Africa. It's the motherland for me. So anything that reminds me of South Africa, I fall in love with too. Okay, so what I would say with this one is, Karen, could you go a little bit wider on this tree to get more of the tree in there? So maybe if you have a wider angle lens, the tree will become smaller in the frame, and that'll be the point of focus. That's where your eye will go. So right now my eyes kind of running around, and I don't know where to go. Like, what is the major point of interest, the big one, the obvious one in this image,
I totally agree, mate. Like, trying to find something and isolate a tree in this situation is the perfect outcome. One thing actually, what I've been seeing a bit more of, and it's a bit old school, but a vertical panorama. So cropping this a little bit tighter. If you couldn't find something to isolate, you could crop this in. I'm talking like, sort of like this. So you've just got this blue, it's like a vertical panorama, really artistic looking image. I could see that being something, like one of the photographers here, Ken Duncan, vertical panoramas, he sells them all the time. And it's not something you see very often. And obviously they don't share well online, panoramas, because you can't make them that big. But that's something I could see. And it's probably something I would hang on my wall if I had like a column or a long thin area, a beautiful toned image down to the black here. So if I couldn't isolate a subject, I would think about what I could do in post and maybe cropping a little bit tighter. So then you've just got this stalk that comes up and these few little branches and all the tones. And one thing I can see here too, you can see where you've vignetted a bit on the blue. And then again, instead of going for that vignette in Lightroom, drop a little graduated filter on it so that darker tone is pretty even across the top. And because it just works for this image, all the way through that tonal range. So very nice. Definitely, like Brent said, try and isolate a tree if you can. If you can't, think about things you can do in post to simplify your image. And I think cropping a little bit tighter and going for something just a little bit different, out of the box thinking thinking maybe. Anyway, I'm just throwing around a few ideas. It's what I can see. I would definitely have had to if I could talk. I definitely would have had to go in a vertical pano there and maybe cropped it a little bit tighter. Just something a bit different, because you don't see it very often. In images with that tonal range, just great, man. Love it.
No, for sure. And the last one we got today is from Gail from Canada. Gail, thank you. You are so active in this community. We love you all. All of us love you. Love you all. We love you.
I love you too, Brent.
And okay, what do I love about this image? This is just a beautiful silhouette. And what jumps out to me is the mum's hair being backlit like that. So looks like the boys, mum and dad, a great family portrait. She's left enough space at the bottom, unlike what I did with Verina's image. I should have had more black just to balance, to have a base to the image. And I just love the way the heads are, you draw a line on top of the heads and it goes all the way up to dad. Dad's obviously the head of the family, and mum's over there, and she's kind of the light of the family because she's got the light on her hair. Hey, maybe I need more of this coffee.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Hey, one thing that jumps out at me: check out all the boys' ears, including Dad. No, you can tell obviously it's a family.
Yeah.
If they all got similar, especially the boys, they've all got similar head shapes. They've all got the ears, the butterfly wing ears. But and I just love the fact that one thing that makes this image stand out and makes it really unique is that hair on the mum just sticking out, and you know that's the mum, it's definitely the mum, and that's 3 boys and the dad. So yeah, it's great. It's funny how the little subtle things in your images are the things that make the difference and make your work stand out. Whether we're talking about that vertical panorama or little things like the mum's hair here. I mean, there's 1,000 things you can choose, but as photographers, just finding those little things that you can add to your image to make it stand out. That's how you create your own style and become unique to what you do. So awesome. Love it.
A couple of more things I've noticed here, Gail, while I've been looking at. The longer you look at an image, the more things you tend to notice, right? Yep. I've noticed the wind blowing the grass in the foreground. Yeah, it's the same direction as her hair. So like her hair actually relates to the grass over there and down over here. And also I like the way you've composed this image, the way you've cropped it. The family's off to the right a little bit, and you've got this little bit of a hill over here. So there's more black on the right and less on the left. So my eye comes in naturally from the right and then goes up this way. Yeah. So I like that.
Hey, I wonder one little thing there, and it's just a really minor thing, Gail, because again, the more you look at something, the more you see. I probably would have liked just a touch more separation between the mum and the dad, just to define their body area to be a bit similar to the boys. But yeah, I mean, look, that's personal preference. It's just one little thing. But I tell you what, beautiful image, love it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. And I think for this month's assignment for December, what are we going to do again, Johnny? What are we going to do?
I think we should just do the
festive season.
And the festive season.
Yeah.
And the new year. I think we're going to wrap it all into one. What do you reckon?
Yeah, because a lot of us go on holiday this time of the year and people are away and with families. I think for December we'll make it. Why don't we just do festive? Should we just do festive?
Yeah.
Festivities?
Yeah, festivities.
Festivities.
Could mean anything. Could mean fireworks. It could mean the kids opening presents. It could mean someone's lights on their house. It could mean a million things. Families together. It could be anything. Yeah.
Okay.
I really like that. No, I think we should maybe aim for, and obviously I think maybe we should aim for mid to late January. We'll let this one go a bit longer. And because there's so much happens over that period. And late January we'll catch up and we'll start the new assignment for February.
Okay, sounds good. So guys, start getting your images ready for festivities for this month over the festive season, and then mid to late January we'll do the critique on that.
So we aren't talking about drunk selfies with your iPhone either. So although you could add that if you add some artistic Instagram filter, maybe it might work. Anyway.
Well, thanks, guys, and sorry we couldn't do this live.
But
you know what? I think maybe it's better we don't, because we can do cool things like add Lightroom and all that good stuff. So
yeah, we might actually. I'm really liking the idea of throwing some images in Lightroom, doing just some quick little things, and we can show the crops and bits and pieces. It might help people out.
Well,
sounds good.
We'll do that next time.
Awesome.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the lounge.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.